As he walked along, Jesus saw a man who had been blind from birth. So his disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents? Who sinned that he was born blind?" Jesus answered, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned. He was born blind so that God's works might be revealed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." When he had said this, Jesus spat on the ground, and he made mud with the saliva, and he spread the mud on the man's eyes, saying to him, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam." That means sent. Go, wash in the pool of Siloam. So the man went, and he washed, and he came back able to see. The neighbors and those who had seen this man before as a beggar began to ask, Is this not the man who used to sit and beg?" And some of them were saying, "Yes, he's the one." Others said, No, it only looks like him." But he kept on saying, the man himself kept on saying, "I am that man." So they said to him, Well, how did you receive your sight? How were your eyes opened?" And he answered, "The man called Jesus made mud, and he spread it on my eyes, and then he said to me, 'Go to Siloam and wash.' So I went and I washed, and I received my sight." And then they said to him, "Well, where is he?" And the formerly blind man answered, "I don't know." They brought the man whose eyes Jesus had opened to the Pharisees. Now, it was a Sabbath day when Jesus made the mud and opened the man's eyes. So the Pharisees also began to ask this man how his eyes had been opened. The formerly blind man answered, he said, "He put mud in my eyes, and then I washed, and now I see." Some of the Pharisees said, "This man," they meant Jesus, some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God because he does not observe the Sabbath." But other Pharisees said, "Yeah, but how can a man who is a sinner perform such signs?" So they were divided. And thus they turned again to the man whose eyes Jesus had opened, and they said, "What do you say about him? It was your eyes that he opened." And the formerly blind man answered, "He is a prophet." Well, the Jews did not believe that this man had been blind, and now all of a sudden he could see. They just didn't believe it until they brought in the man's parents for questioning. "Is this your son?" they said to the parents. "Is this your son who you say was born blind? How then can he now see?" The parents answered, "We know this is our son and that he was born blind, but how it is he now sees, we don't know. And as to who opened his eyes, we don't know that either. He is of age. Ask him. He will speak for himself." The parents said this because they were afraid of the Jews. For the Jews had already decided that anyone who confessed Jesus to be the Messiah would be expelled from the synagogue, kicked out. And therefore the parents said, "He is of age, ask him." So, for the second time, they brought in the man whose eyes Jesus had opened. They said to him, "Give glory to God." That means tell the truth. "Give glory to God. We know this man is a sinner." And the formerly blind man answered. He said, "Whether he is a sinner or not, I don't know. But one thing I do know, once I was blind and now I see." So they answered him, Well, What did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? And the formerly blind man answered. He said, I've told you already, and you wouldn't listen. Why do you want to hear this again? Do you also want to become his disciples? And then they reviled him. You are his disciple, they said. You are his disciple, but we are disciples of Moses. We know God spoke to Moses, but as for this man, we don't even know where he came from. And the formerly blind man answered. He said, well, how about that? You say, we don't know where he came from, but he opened my eyes. We know that God does not listen to sinners, but he does listen to one who worships him and who obeys his will. Never since the world began has it been heard of anybody opening the eyes of a person born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing. And they answered him. They said, you were steeped in sin from birth, and you dare lecture us. And they expelled him from the synagogue. They threw him out. Jesus heard that they had thrown him out. And when Jesus found the man, Jesus said, do you believe in the Son of Man? And the formerly blind man answered. He said, and tell me, sir, who is he, that I may believe in him? And then Jesus said, you have seen him, and the one speaking with you is he. And the man answered, Lord, I believe. And the man worshiped Jesus.